For the past 20 years, a sustained rise, frequency, and intensity of climate-related disasters such as floods and droughts have threatened people's lives and livelihood. Poor communities in both rural and urban areas are more vulnerable and have more difficulty to recover from these extreme events. In 2011, the Cagayan de Oro River Basin or CDORB was struck by Typhoon Washi. There was massive flooding in the river basin and its delta. The flood resulted in an overall damage of approximately $104 million in all sectors of affected areas, with 674 fatalities and about 1,000 people missing.
The last few days as a result of the storm, and that is what can kill.
Stuck in these conditions for what could be a very long time. What's being done to help? Is aid getting in?
The extent of losses and damages are linked to the decline in the condition of the upland areas in Bukidnon and the rapid urbanization in the downstream community of Cagayan de Oro. Massive agro-industrial plantations, encroachment, timber poaching, and unsustainable farming practices have contributed to the degradation of the headwaters of CDORB. Without forest cover, the integrity of the river basin as a life support system is in danger. Recognizing how interconnected these ecosystems are, collective efforts among stakeholders are needed to halt the further destruction of forest resources and increase the resiliency of the community.
2019, the downstream area of Cagayan de Oro City passed its Payments for Ecosystem Services or PS ordinance allocating $200,000 annually for the restoration activities in the upland and critical watersheds of CDORB. Another major financial contributor for the catchment restoration is the Cagayan de Oro Water District or COWD, which suffered heavy damages during the Sandong floods in 2011. The water district is now cooperating with VEI, a Dutch water operator, to increase its resilience to flooding, improve its overall performance, and connect 7,000 additional households in Cagayan de Oro to water supply. This partnership, along with Partners for Sanitation and River Basin Restoration, forms the core of the Ridge to Coast Rain to Tap project. Such collaborative projects play a critical role in bringing in local and international cooperation, public and private partnerships, providing resources, expertise, knowledge, and policy support. Through the project, beneficiaries of the high mountain forest, mainly the upland communities, are supported to meet their basic needs and empowered to become participants in its protection. In the upland area of CDORB, a significant portion of the population are farmers, many of whom belong to the indigenous peoples community who live near the critical forest areas. By empowering these IP communities to become custodians of the forest, the communities will be able to adopt sustainable farming practices, participate in the reforestation activities, assist the local government in the protection of their forest lands from outsiders, and cultivate a sense of stewardship amongst community members, especially the youth. Thus, Heniliban Foundation Incorporated engages with these IP communities as valued partners for rainforestation. Despite the urgency of deforestation, these communities face more immediate challenges in their day-to-day lives, such as hunger and poverty. Without addressing these concerns, the success and sustainability of reforestation will be at risk. Heniluban's rainforestation program includes assistance to establish farms that will serve as the community's sustainable source of food and livelihood. Before any of these activities takes place, Heniluban obtains consent from the IP communities through a process known as the Participatory Cultural Impact Assessment or PCIA, in which the community is fully informed about the program and individuals are free to voice their concerns. Succeeding engagement activities revolve around making sure the program design is adapted to the community's particular context, especially for food security and livelihood. The food security component, known as the Family Food Security Cycle or FFSC, aims to help partner communities achieve non-cash dependent food security for each family member. The FFSC component is fundamentally designed to provide a family of 7 with enough nutritional food items to last them throughout the year. Farmers are taught on how to grow local crops using sustainable, climate-resilient, and organic methods, and how to manage livestock such as pigs, chickens, and goats to complete their farm system. The livelihood component, known as Sustainable Disposable Income Crops or SDIC, aims to help partner communities grow environmentally sustainable crops as a source of income. Iniluban trains its IP partners on how to grow climate-resilient, high-value crops such as adlay, coffee, bamboo, and abaca using methods that assure high-quality produce. To guarantee the farmers a good price, Hiniluban assists its partner communities to connect directly to a transformational business partner which is able to process and market the products to high-end customers. Now that the community's basic needs are met, they are likely open, willing, capable, and empowered to reforest their areas. Hiniluban's rainforestation method assures the tree's growth despite challenges presented by unfertile soil, competitive cogon grass fires, and harsh tropical weather. The replanting of trees has 2 phases. The first phase is the planting of pioneer species such as Caliandra calothyrsus to create an environment suitable for the growth of the tree's seedlings. Caliandra is able to compete with cogon grass and eventually eliminate the grass by shading while also providing nutrients to the soil. The Caliandra enriches the soil, acts as a fire line for the forest, and provides firewood for the community. In the second phase, the Caliandra is thinned to make space for the indigenous tree species. The trees are cared for by the community until they have grown past their critical period of growth. This becomes the foundation of a restored and permanent rainforest. It is easy to recognize that the destruction of our forests diminishes our natural defense against flooding, shortage of water supply, and poor sanitation, among many others. Yet, it continues at an alarming rate. As societies act towards a more sustainable future, it is important that we view reforestation as a tool in achieving resiliency in our society. The rainforestation approach in CDORB makes this possible with indigenous people upstream, private sector, and the community downstream. The community downstream provides resources for building the food security and the sustainable income cycles of the community upstream. A restored forest reduces the risk of flooding, provides a dependable source of water for farming and living, and ultimately builds the resiliency of society in the river basin.